actually what we're advocating for, I think, is proper sphere sovereignty.
Yeah.
Right. So each sphere should be doing what they're supposed to do. And so it's not really this. It almost gets characterized as it's um, inward versus out.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has to be one or the other. And that's what we were talking about last night. It's like you can be a pastor who is uh, preaching the word, expositing it, going through the book, and also preach outside the walls through means like this right here. Through, we were talking about one of the people that we're going to go see today, Dusty Beavers, found their conference. Like he ran for Senate because he truly believes in the idea of a nation honoring God.
Yeah.
And he's a pastor.
Well, and that's if you go through history, pastors would typically be in government positions,
Right.
In a lot of towns, a lot of neighborhoods. It wasn't really until the dispensational movement, white polished brass, we just need to do our job.
Right.
This separation from church and state, which there are Christians who act like it's a biblical state. There's a separation of sphere of authority, but there's not a separation from being under Christ. The government answers to Christ, your family answers to Christ, the church answers to Christ. And that was something that was understood. So the church would declare to the state, you're disobeying God. Would declare to the families would then declare to the state, we are made in his image. You don't have the right to boss us around that way.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a crossover and misunderstanding because all Christians that are biblically founded Christians would be at least a general equity theonomist.
Yeah.
Okay. So theonomy.
I was like, you have to define it. He's going to say
theonomy. Let me define it. Robbie put his finger up. So the question is, and I'm going to put it instead of defining it in a rigid way.
Yeah.
Theonomy would be the Old Testament law. God does not change what God says. God is always, and God has, of course, three parts of the law. He has the moral and civil, and not every part of the law would apply to everybody. But since God does not change, his principles by which society is to run and to be ruled should still stand. And laws and nations should follow the Old Testament foundation for moral. So general equity.
For moral, though, that's the key right there is, there's difference. Then you sort of have to start talking about the different types of law.
That's where, people get mad. They're like, Old Testament law has no place.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But general equity would say, and Greg Monson, he's one of my favorite general equity theologians. He would say something like, the Old Testament civil laws and stuff don't necessarily directly apply to us, but the moral principles that are found in it are a basis of tells who God is, and it should be the foundation of any good society, any equitable society. And I would agree with it. Now, you have, like some of the guys we run with are dominion theologists.
Yeah.
They're saying, no, the law of God should have absolute, application where it can.
Yeah.
And that, yes, there's some parts of the civil law that aren't necessarily written to us, but God wants government ran that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the general equities would say, no, that was Israel. They were a theonomy. We're not a theonomy.
Yeah. We would probably all agree that ceremony law
is rules.
Right.
I'm sorry, I was getting my lamb ready for sacrifice. What were you doing?
except for palm beer. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll have to. Yeah. So I mean, ultimately, ceremonial. Put that away.
And by ceremonial, we mean the